Hello and good morning. Oh, all right. I have to deal with my skin because I have been unwell, sick, flu, respiratory things for the last month or so. And I think about 2.5 or so weeks ago, I got really unwell. And I kind of barely managed to get out of bed most days. So my skincare was non-existent. I wash my face once a day, or maybe even not. I know it's terrible. And when I did, it was just like a quick micellar water wipe and then some moisturizer, and I was, done. And you hear a lot of skincare people say, oh, all you really need is cleanse, toner, and moisturize and sunscreen. I barely even did that. So I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but that could just be, a complete lie, because I woke up this morning and I was stuffy in my nose and I was a little congested and my nose was running, and we had been to a funeral and there was a lot of people and a lot of hugging, and that was about 5 days ago, and I'm like, oh my goodness, did I catch something from someone there? Because there's just this whole flu thing going around where we live, and that's pretty nasty, and a lot of people are like getting pneumonia and bronchitis, and when we caught it, I could like feel it in my chest, and I couldn't breathe, and my chest was closing up, and I had to call my doctor and get on antibiotics and things like that. So it's pretty nasty, and I've been really sick, and so my skin's been exceedingly neglected. And if I'm being honest, I am not feeling great, but I need to do something because I've got things going on here and breakouts, and I know it doesn't look like much, but I generally tend to have fairly clear skin. And last night I noticed it, so I did put on some of my Lion Pear cream, which I use for blemishes, in the hopes that will, and it is better this morning. I'm looking in the big mirror. So yeah, so hopefully that'll start to clear up. I don't know if this is actually a blemish or just something permanent that's decided to pop up, because our skins are can be challenging at times. And look, I haven't even done anything about my blackheads and stuff, and maybe it's benefited from the neglect, but I haven't worn much makeup, I haven't worn much skincare, and it doesn't seem to hate, my nose doesn't seem to hate me too much right now. So just the usual. I'm trying to get back into a routine, just my AHA, BHA, PHA. I haven't even done any of that in such a long time. So I'm just gonna kind of get into at least a semi-decent daytime routine, just to kickstart into it. And tonight, if I have the energy, I'll do a DIY mask that's very nourishing for my skin, so that I start to feel better. Well, my skin. That's just a lip gloss oil balm thing. It's the Apieu milk and honey, or honey and milk. I'm almost done. There's hardly anything left in it. And I took the stopper out because I'm trying to get like the the very, very last dregs of it, because I do really like this a lot. This is my second one. Nope, not much. There's literally only that much left. So I'll take this tape off. So that's all that's left in it. But I'm determined to use every single last speck of it because I like it a lot, a lot. This was a sample of a Charlotte Tilbury Glow Toner. What had happened was I went into Mecca to ask for a sample to try it. It's way out of my price range. It smells like geraniums. So for those people who don't like scent or fragrance, you might want to skip this. So anyway, I went in to ask for a sample, and normally they give you like, you know, these little sample pots that are about that big. I've got antibiotic cream in this one that I've repurposed, but you know, and that's like about 2 or 3 mils. But I ended up with 30 mils of it. They just gave it to me. And the reason was because the cap on the bottle was broken and they couldn't get it open to actually pour it. And they were going to throw away the whole bottle. And the lady said to me, "Oh, do you want this? You can have it." And I'm like, okay. So, you know, she said, because we can't get it open, and they opened a new bottle to give me the sample. And then she said, here, you can take the sample, but you can take this giant bottle and use it too, because we can't open it. So anyway, I brought it home, fished out a pair of pliers from hubby's toolbox and got it open and got 30 mils of that very expensive toner to play with. I'm using my Retinol Peptide from Derma. I actually saw it. Nobody talks about this brand at all, but I really like it. I mean, it's moisturizing, it's hydrating, it's plumping, it does all the things. I really, really like it. And then when I have what I do is every time there's excess, I just rub it on my hands. So my hands get a little bit of nourishment too. And then I'm gonna put on some of my Mediheal Peptide 9 Volume Biotox Ampoule. So this is pretty much just my fairly normal daytime skincare routine. I'm not trying to do anything super duper special. I just want to get back into a routine and like start doing something again. I have noticed that, you know, there are more lines under my eyes. My skin tone is not nearly as bright as it was before. This is my Marine Care Retinol Eye Serum. And like with most Korean retinol eye serums, you get a boatload of product. And I use it on my face. I was using the Beauty of Joseon one, but I finished that and I've switched to this one. And this one's actually quite strong. So I have to remember not to use it every day, twice a day. Oh, well, I didn't, but I could use it every day, twice a day with the Beauty of Joseon Retinal and Ginseng eye serum. I can't with this one. I think it's stronger. Okay, so that's done. I suppose I could have talked for those last 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds while I was applying it, but, you know, I don't have anything to say. Or I have something that, I don't know. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things because, honestly, I haven't really done much. This is, what am I talking about? Okay, some acid, Paula's Choice, what is this? Skin Perfecting AHA Lotion, and the 2% BHA. I've had this a long time. I'm trying to use it up. But it's such an absolutely gigantic bottle. It's 100 ml. And I mix the two. So I'm just giving my skin a tiny little bit. I know they say don't use an acid with a retinol, but I've been using retinol or tretinoin actually since my early 30s, so over 20 years. And while I can't do like strong tretinoin or strong retinol, my skin can handle quite a fair bit of stuff. So, you know, it really all just depends on your skin and what your skin can handle. And then what have I got? And then I'm just gonna use this up because, gosh, I would have finished this. I would have finished this ages ago had I actually done any skincare. But I literally, there was a stretch of like 4 days or 5 days where all I did was wipe my face with the micellar water and then just spray with this Derma First Spray Serum and called it a day, because that was just how low energy and how awful I felt. And it was like, you know, oh yay, this is it. This is it. That's the end of it. Hooray. And you get to celebrate that with me. I know it's not a big deal, but I don't know. I get a real kick out of like finishing something. But once this is done, I still have this little tiny one. But yeah, what was I saying? Lost my train of thought. Yeah, some days I was just, all I did was the spray. I wiped my face with the micellar water. I sprayed that Derma First spray on my face, and that was it. That was really all I could cope with. And that was the only thing I did for maybe like 4 or 5 days. So, you know, do as I do, don't do as I say. Well, what's that saying? Do as I say, don't do as I do. But, you know, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that if your skin's generally in pretty good shape, you can neglect it for a while. I'm not saying neglect it, you know, but life happens, right? Life happens. And there are days when you're not well for whatever reason. You got the flu, you got the bug, you got the plague, you know, it's going around again. Actually, my dad caught it. I don't know where he got it from. So, you know, these things happen. These things happen. And this morning when I woke up and I thought I had the flu or the cold or something because of all the germs and plagues and bugs going around, I did, you know, test, because we keep those tests at home now. I did test, and fortunately it's not the plague. That was negative, thank goodness. Because I've been so unwell for the last month. I just really cannot I just need a break. I cannot get the plague. I do not want it. And I just want to be able to, you know, get back and start doing things. Because last night, believe it or not, I had energy for like the first time in so long that I was like, yay, you know, I'll get up and do something. Because the thing is, I was chatting with a girlfriend today, and I've got a couple of girlfriends who, I mean, they're in similar situations in that, you know, they get tired or they get unwell, and you know, it's just this constant cycle of trying to catch up, getting sick, feeling run down, and then feeling a bit better. And then when you feel a bit better and you have like the energy, you'll try to get everything done, and you try to pack as much as you can in. You know, and this girlfriend of mine said to me this morning, oh yeah, I woke up and I was feeling a bit better today because last 3 days I just could barely drag myself out of bed. But you know, I had to, because I had to send my kid to school, blah, 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 and all that sort of stuff. But this morning I was feeling a bit better, you know, because I had a good night's sleep. And so I woke up and I was cleaning, and I did this and I did that, and you know, and that's what we do, you know. When we're not feeling well, we suck it up and keep going. And then when we're feeling well, we try to pack as much in as we can. And I think it's like, I don't know, maybe it's a female thing. A girlfriend of mine and I always say, you know, she works full time. She has 2 boys, very active. You know, and she's a full-time mom. And she works from home, and she works full time. And you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. Some days it's a lot. That was sunscreen. And I'm almost down to the last of it too. It's like literally down to like there. So I might have 1 use left. And then hooray, it's gone. I have a weird love-hate relationship with this sunscreen. I don't know why. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. And the thing is, I do appreciate the fact that it's not super duper greasy. And it reminds me of some of the Korean sunscreens in that it sinks into the skin really, really fast. And sits nicely under makeup. So yeah. And so when I woke up this morning and I was feeling under the weather, I thought, oh man, I just cannot catch a break. And I was just like, oh. But it is what it is, and you suck it up and you keep going. I mean, obviously there are days when you can't even suck it up because there just is nothing in the tank, and I've had those days. But today I'm sort of not great, but not awful either. So I have a bit of energy. And so I'm doing this. And I want to catch up on a couple of videos because I just haven't been able to do much. Okay, skincare is done. I am going to... I haven't put on much makeup either, other than for like when we went to the funeral. So I think I will actually put on makeup and have a little fun. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me ramble for no apparent reason. And if you've made it this far and watched me put on, I've got a cough, a tickle in my throat coming. So I'm going to wrap up real fast. Thank you. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.